Hi, fellow traders. Um, got kind of a midweek update. Still not a whole lot going on. It's just as dead as can be. I guess once this Brexit thing, plays out, then things will be back to business as usual. It's kind of no different than, Greece a couple years ago talking about they're leaving the EU. So, I mean, it just doesn't make sense. And all it does is just create chaos. And of course, we in America overreact to everything. So it's just playing into, what's going on. So I'm about really tired of hearing about it. I came real close. If I didn't have to be in chat every day, I would have taken this week off and gone to the beach or something. I wouldn't have even looked at trading with all of the mess that's going on. So outside of the first hour or two, I'm not even looking for anything else, later on in the day. It's just a waste of time. Thankfully, tomorrow, I have to take off sometime after lunch, so, that'll spare me from having to deal with everything that's going to be going on afterwards. But see, Monday I had one trade on CCL. This was a 5 minute opening range breakdown. We got the big um, red candle at open, showed weakness at open. So what I was looking for it to do was possibly come back and test VWAP. It did open and make a little run up, but then it started to sell off. And so I caught it, pretty much right where it opened. Right here at, let's see, around 49.13 or 49.12, I can't remember. But, caught it right here, making the 5 minute opening range breakdown. And, had a nice move down, but I didn't get in full size because still I was expecting it to, move down a little bit and possibly retest VWAP, before it gave me the fade. Now I anticipated this to be an all day fade event. You can see where it gapped up. I was expecting it to get back down to this level, back to where it gapped up from. But it didn't quite make it. You know, I did get a little, a nice little fade out of it. But once it lost VWAP, it never claimed it all day. And so there was no reason for me to get out of it. Only in a couple of hundred shares. And, when it hit the 200, I got out. That was my target going in, was the 200. I had no idea that this thing was going to push up the way it did. That's why I was expecting it to, fade back down here to yesterday's close level. Um, and that's where that thought process came from. But it was a low stress trade. It was just set it and forget it. I mean, I even fell asleep. I forgot I had it on. My son caught me, napping and snapped a picture of it. But it's just one of those things that you have to adapt to and take what the market is giving you. Tuesday, I had the same setup, but totally missed the entry, and and I didn't chase it down, and it gave me another entry about an hour or so later, but I wasn't paying attention when it came back and tapped VWAP for the second time, and didn't get that entry, and it ended up fading all day. I really can't remember the ticker right offhand, but I don't even want to think about it. I had to go for a walk because whenever you let things get to you like that, and the only reason it got to me was because of the small amount of opportunities we have. And when you miss a golden opportunity and you have limited opportunities, it's going to affect you. When the market was running a couple months ago, could care less about that because there'll be another one coming right up behind it. But in this case, in this market, no. When you miss something like that, you just have to do your best to, control yourself. And, with me, I just took a walk and then just let things go. But today, SCTY, I was looking at it. Actually, was looking at it the night before because of the news that came out that Tesla was looking to buy it. Well, they're pretty much the same company. You got the same CEO for both companies. So that was pretty much a scam. So I expected Tesla and SCTY to fade all day. I mean, that's what I expected. But couldn't find any shorts at the open. Sure Trader didn't have any. And because I wanted to trade this out of, my Sure Trader account. Because this was a lower dollar ticker. It was good enough to, I would be able to get enough shares and hold it so that you could kind of get an idea for how to trade these. But I couldn't. Had to wait about an hour or so before I could locate some and, traded this through Speed Trader and, got a little move. I mean, I got in here after, this is the move I like to take at the open. I'll let it shake out. If I don't like the 5-minute opening range breakdown, it was too close to the 200 here for me to take it on the 5-minute. So I waited to see if this was going to bounce, and I really should have taken it long here, but I waited to see if it was going to fail to push the VWAP. I hated the fact that the VWAP had come down so much, but it did give me a decent scout window so that I could at least catch my, daily goal on this move. And as soon as it failed to push here, this candle opened weak, so I went ahead and jumped on it. Got short here, covered it, right here at the 200, half of it, and then let the other half run a little bit too far. Should have gotten this at break even, but I waited to see if this was gonna, go up over here to possibly take out stop losses and then pull back and close under the VWAP. But this closed above VWAP and this candle opened pretty strong, so I went ahead and got out. And you can see it really just tested the 20. I wasn't willing to let it do that, even though that was the smart move. Let it test the 20, and if it pushed the 20, get out. If it didn't, let it ride. But just was in with too much size, and had I taken 3/4 off down here, I would have left a quarter on to see if and let it test the 20. But I didn't. I stuck to my plan. When we got a close above VWAP and this candle confirmed the close, the reclaim of VWAP, I got out and could have taken this short again, but was just frustrated again at this point and just let it go. And eventually it did fade like I had anticipated it to. This one, I was looking for it to come back to where it closed the day before, but it didn't even get close. But still, this would have been a nice, pretty much all day hold for it. And these are the type trades that you have to take in the market. The one that I really wanted was Tesla. The other one in this fiasco here, I knew it was going to test this support here. I mean, this resistance. I expected it to test this and fail. And that's exactly what it did. It didn't quite make it on this push, but it tested it and failed it here. And from there, it never really regained strength. And this would have been a beautiful all day, pretty much all day hold once it failed this test, especially when it came here and made a lower high. Um, then you should have known that you were in business. The 20 does give some support here, but finally it cracks it. VWAP gave it a little run for its money, but it never could push back over it. And this is all the confirmation you needed. The only problem is I didn't have enough capital to really make this, make sense to me. So I didn't take it. At some point, hopefully next year this time, I'll be able to trade these stocks. And, because right now, I'm just about making some money, putting it in the bank, making sure my kids have money for college, all of these things. You have to, if you're trading full time, you have to put this money up. You can't just keep it and flip it because anything can happen. If I lost my whole account tomorrow, I will still be fine because I can refund it. I can start over from scratch. I've learned in the skills and I feel that I'm at a point where I can do that. But if I lost everything and I don't have any buffer, then I'm in bad shape. And, not trading with all your money it really helps with your psychology and being able to get in and out of trades with ease. So, it's just one of these things that I suggest you do. Once you get your account to a certain level that you're comfortable trading and you can get in and take the trades that you want to trade and make some money, just keep it at that level and start banking. Because you never know when you're going to need it. You never know when you're going to need it. And if I hadn't have banked all of this money at the beginning of the year, I'd be hurting right now because I probably would have lost half of it, trying to keep up. So just some food for thought. Hopefully I can get some small account trades. I mean, that one, 2 days in a row, I just botched it. Well, not 2 days. Tuesday, I botched that trade. That would have been a good one. And I was just trying to get too good of an entry initially. And because I was, recording it, I wanted to get as good an entry as I could. I can't play that tape because of the stuff that I said on it. I can't edit that out. But that's what happened. I just blew the entry. And today, SureTrader just didn't have any shorts on SCTY, and obviously I couldn't take Tesla, with the price tag it had. So hopefully tomorrow will give us, a trade. I'm itching to, get a trade done in that account and start moving on it. I know this probably was the worst week out of the whole summer to actually launch it and start it, but it's all a learning process. You have to be patient. If the opportunity doesn't present itself, you sit on your hands. If not, you'll start giving back money, and if you give back money before you make any, then you're really going to be in bad shape. So that's all I got for today. I hope everybody has a better day tomorrow. We'll see what happens when this news comes out, and what tomorrow will bring and what Friday will bring, and still have one more week in this month to try to at least get the minimum I need to make for this month for my trading to make sense. But ready for the challenge. So we'll see everybody tomorrow in chat. Everybody have a great evening, safe evening, and we'll see you tomorrow.